What's up?
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the 2x2 podcast. I'm Danny.
I'm Riley.
And we're from Burlington Baptist Church. And we missed you guys last week because Riley was traveling. And I just kind of figured you guys didn't want to see me sit and talk for 45 minutes, to be honest.
Talk to himself. You know?
Yeah. So we've got an interesting wrap up, I think, to our social media and religion topic. And I've got social media rules for Christians.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. We also have hugs.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk to you about your hugs because the statement that you made to me beforehand was, green's my favorite.
They are.
Right?
They're
well,
really
hold on.
Good. Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
And then I said, oh, is it like lemon lime? And you said, it could be, or it could be kiwi. I'm not real sure. So you don't know what flavor it is by tasting it.
Well, I mean, I never paid that much of attention, to be honest.
It's just kind of weird.
Well, by tasting, dude.
Well,
Don't even get me
crack
started.
one open there.
Don't even get me started on tasting stuff.
Now listen, this better be. Now I understand that these are not the hugs
Yeah.
that I'm used to from back in the Bible school days.
Back in my day.
Back in the Bible school days, but I'm back. You got me some grapes.
Yeah.
Also, we're looking for a hugs sponsor. We did pick up another sponsor that we'll
Yeah.
talk about here in a minute, but
Any type of juice.
well, let's check. Hold on. Before I ask for hug sponsors, let me try the grape.
All right.
New grape,
Yeah.
like probably sugar free or something.
I don't know. Probably 5 grams at most of sugar.
Oh, it's still pretty good. It's still the one you gave me last one was terrible.
I don't like that one that
What
much
was
either.
that?
It was red. I think it's fruit punch.
Is that why you gave it to me? 'Cause you're like, I don't
No.
really like
Well, I
these.
mean,
was giving
I had
them-
that one too last time.
Oh,
So
that's
we
right.
all did.
Yeah, this is better than.
I like this one the most.
There's definitely far less sugar in this than
Yeah.
there used to be, but this is still pretty good.
I'd say it's green, blue, red, then grape. But I don't like grape anything, to be fair. So for me, it's at the bottom.
You don't like grape jelly?
Not well. I mean, grape flavored like drinks. I don't like.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think
You
it's
said grape anything. So.
I meant like fake tasting grape. You know what I mean? Like Welch's grape juice is really good because you can taste the actual.
It's
grape.
actual grapes.
But like anything that's fake grape to me is just so disgusting.
Wow.
So
What about fake banana? That's the one I love bananas.
I don't
dude.
like real banana, but I like fake
Oh,
banana.
see, I'm the opposite. I love real bananas. Love them. But like any fake banana flavor is like it's got like a weird like aspartame weird taste to me or whatever. So, we got a new sponsor. Let's go through all of our sponsors and then we'll talk about a new sponsor, which is technically not a new sponsor. And you'll see why. A grape hug made me burp a little bit. CrossFit, Northern Kentucky. Located behind Tractor Supply. And I can never remember the daggone road that they're on, but it's you go behind Tractor Supply and you turn left right there and they're back in that building. For all your fitness and health and wellness goals. Tina said that Andrew, who is one of the owners, if she wasn't around, he would be my boyfriend because we talk to each other, I guess, more than most people. But she says that about Biddle too, and a couple of my other friends. So she gets jealous. It's our anniversary, so she's giving me a hard time today. Kentucky Olive, purveyors of fine oils, balsamics, cheeses, honey. Tom told me some of the new things that they've got going, and I've forgotten them because he got his hair cut like last week, and I forgot. But he said definitely come in and check them out. They're constantly trying some new things and this, that, and the other. Still no summer sausage, which is fine, but they have all of your other charcuterie needs.
Yeah.
Jellies and jams and stuff like that. I think I saw that they had some like pepper jellies at one time and everything else. But candles, all that homey stuff. Really good. Tattoo Tina's, located 7 Shelby Street, Florence, Kentucky. Her and Roxy back in operation. We're going to try to go on a date, so she's going to try to get early tonight. But that would be because we're filming this on Tuesday, so we're going to try to go on a date. But I don't know if you heard me talking about the homeless fight that's been going on there. So they have a homeless fellow that sits at the food pantry place. Soup kitchen's a terrible term. And he has a guitar, and he sings at the corner of Shelby and Main. Well, in the park side, that's over on Tina's side, there's a fellow that shows up with a giant grocery cart full of things, and he wears like 7 layers of clothes. So instead of carrying his clothes around with him, he just wears them, right? And they, I think, compete for some money down there, you know, as people pull up to the stop sign, and they get in fights with each other pretty often, and there's a lot of screaming, and then sometimes the police come. So it's been very exciting around there. That's not a great advertisement, I guess, for her tattoo shop, but it's completely safe, and she says now it's more of a novelty than it is anything else to get the couple homeless people down there. And, you know, we have Florence cops that are our buddies. Yeah. They know them all by name. So when I describe them, they're like, oh, that's this person. That's Gerald. I'm like, oh, okay. So the guy that wears the clothes and pulls the cart is convinced that my buddy Ethan, who's a police officer, stole his patent for something. Yeah. And I asked Ethan, I said, does he have any, like, have you given him a hard time about, you know, whatever? And he said, no. He said he's just convinced that patent for maybe NASA or something. I can't remember what he told me, but it was something just bizarre, like way out there. Yeah. Serious archery products and tough head broadheads. Hunting season is rapidly approaching, everybody. So check out Seth and his guys over there. For your arrows, your broadheads, all of those things. He is, I mean, I'm just going to say it. He's a dork about, you know, arrow, carbon, the consistency, the straightness, all of those things, which is a really good thing. Yeah. It's really good that he's like that. Steak and Shake, Brother Michael Buteau at Steak and Shake, cleanest, most friendly Steak and Shake, and I think we decided in the universe. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. In the known universe.
We might even have to move it to multiverse. Like it's.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think that's outside the scope of what we believe inside. That's true, but probably. Actually, we should look into that. I definitely, you know, if you consider like heaven, hell, the afterlife, a different universe, I guess maybe we could make a argument for that. Maybe we'll cover that a few weeks from now. That would be right
rabbit hole.
Be right up your dork alley, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? You'd love that. Premier, fitness, grappling, wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, kickboxing. Brother Mitch has got it all. He's doing it over there. Wrestling camp has started. And I believe I saw recently on a Facebook post that they're doing like an individualized wrestling camp, as like wrestling, like lessons for like individuals, which is pretty cool. I wish that would have been around when I wrestled, because it would have been really nice to be able to kind of pick the brain of someone older who knew some more moves and some more defenses and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And our newest sponsor, Brian's Barbershop, where I work. So come on over. We have a really cool scheduling app, so you don't have to wait very long. You can come in and get a haircut and catch up on all the local news in town, gossip. Yeah, generally, you know, football, locker room talk, pretty much. Whatever else is going on in there. Come on in. We've usually got like we've been watching Alone. I've seen them all, but we've been going back through them. I love that show, dude. I could do that show. I think so. And our friends in AIG. Yep. So, before we get too deep into the topic, go ahead and send us hugs. Not the red ones. Not the red ones. You can keep all those. You can pull those out. If you send a multi-pack, just pull the red ones out.
Send the tropical multi-pack. It's got like lemonade in it.
Hold on a second. Does it have this?
No.
Well, dude, I don't know if I like that.
Just to try it. It'll be good. Trust me. The lemonade ones are really good too.
You gave me that red one?
That's true. Yeah. I don't like the red one though. I only like this one and the blue one, really. Out of the main.
What's the blue?
It's like blue raspberry.
I fed our chickens moldy raspberries today. Did I tell you about that? Okay. Yeah. Awesome. It was a free-for-all. They had to like explore them first, and then once they pecked them a couple and realized it was like piranhas to to some bloody red meat. It was pretty awesome. All right, you want to pray us up?
Yep.
All right.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to come together and have this conversation about social media over the past month at this point. I just pray that it's been fruitful for some people listening, and I just pray that the conversation today and the conversations in the future go well, and that we bring some light to certain things that Christians should know about. Amen.
Yeah. By the way, I'm following Mikey Onkeys now.
Yeah, me too.
He's a funny dude, man. He's funny on his social media. Good piano player.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of if Kent watches this, he'll get mad about this, but generally good piano players have a certain look / aura.
Yeah.
Right? And he certainly had that. So I kind of expected that he was.
Yeah.
And then I saw him playing on some, like, man, that guy's, he's really good.
And he'll play like well-known stuff and then throw his own remixes in. And it flows so smoothly.
He's very good.
It's really good.
He's very good. So I have, and I got a lot of these from Relevant Online Mag. It's a Christian source. And it's basically, we're going to go over some rules to social media. I will be honest with you guys. I try to do that all the time. But some of these kind of gave me the, this is kind of talking to me feeling. Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go through some of these. We're going to discuss some of them. And I think generally I just highlighted the ones I thought were good. And some of them have some supporting scripture verses that we can talk about. But I just really thought that this is just pretty good advice, and not even if you're not a Christian, and you are just a person online, and you find yourself getting kind of keyed up. These are pretty good.
So this is valid to everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
We're all human.
Yeah, for sure. And I think. There's one that we'll get into, and it's on the road. It's going to probably take some discussion and some. I would be really interested in getting some feedback from people who watch this, because I think it's one that I think is important. But we're going to start off first. The head topic of this one is attitude. Your attitude online. Self-explanatory. First one. Don't be so negative. Okay. Everybody knows, especially if you watch any news outlet. It doesn't matter which one. There's far more bad news than there is good, because it 100%. Just seems and it just seems like the good just doesn't get covered as much. They'll have a feel good story.
They'll throw in and it'll be like, "Hey, this happened. This is awesome," and then it'll go straight to earlier today. This many people died doing it. Yeah, I mean, there's no.
You think about
balance.
The submarine that went down.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of people ask me what I thought about it, because I was on a U.S. Navy submarine, right? And, of course, the first thing I thought was, and not to be insensitive, but it's like, I saw that thing, and I was like, dude, I went on a submarine. I'm not getting on that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly not going 2.5 miles deep in the ocean on that thing.
Yeah.
Right. But I say that because it was immediate negativity around things right off the bat.
Yeah.
And you have to understand, and I don't know the people on that submarine. I know that some of them were affluent people, and there were some people that were supposedly tied to whatever else. But, I mean, people lost their life.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something that's – so we're quickly negative. And that's another story where it was a story where people lost their life, and it was dominating the news. They were doing special after special and all this other stuff. And then there's a backing scripture for that. And, I mean, there's lots of them in the Bible, but Philippians 4:8 says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever's true, whatever's noble, whatever's right, whatever's pure, whatever's lovely, whatever's admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things, right? I find if I watch and listen to the news a lot, I become more angry and irritable.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially around election times.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
Right.
I think what you watch definitely influences what you like, the emotions you feel. Because I mean, we were talking Saturday night with this lady Alicia, who we just met randomly, and she was talking about how she would always watch all these serial killer documentaries and all these things, and how just it impacted her mood like crazy. You know what I mean? Like she was always feeling down and everything, and when she realized it was because that's all she watched was all these negative, bad things, like bad things in the world. That's why she felt so bad all the time. And when she started to watch better things, she started to feel better too. Like,
well, that makes me feel bad because Tina is always watching Snapped.
no, I mean, I watch them too. You know what I mean? Like, but
She watches them all the time.
but she was saying like that's
Now
the
I'm getting
only
nervous that she's devising some sort of
Oh
strange
no, you're
plan.
good. It wasn't like in that sense. It was just.
Dude, we go to bed and Snapped on oxygen. That's on, buddy. She's getting she's getting subliminal thoughts in her mind about, if I got to do this, how can I not get caught?
How can I not get caught?
Yeah, because
I bet she already knows by now.
oh, I'm sure she does.
Don't worry.
Dude, we'll flip one on. Like, she's gonna get so mad if she hears this. We flip one on within like 3 lines of the interview. She's like, "We've seen this one." I was like, "She's a beast." She's like got a mental inventory of all the Snapped that she's watched. But don't get caught in every outrage wave. That's also that goes along with. And I mean, coming out of COVID, and when you say coming out of COVID, all of the things that were involved in COVID.
Yeah, like,
Dude, it was outrage wave after outrage wave. And I'm talking on both sides of the aisle, right? You got pro-vaxxers, anti-vaxxers. You've got people who said it's this and people who said it's this. And it was just like, just constant barrage of information. Number one, it's dumb.
yeah,
Right. And number two, it then makes it really, really difficult, in my opinion, to discern accurate information.
yes,
Right. And just using COVID as an example, I was one of the ones who quickly thought there should have been more pushback on everything getting so regulated. Right.
Yeah.
That's probably because I probably have a little bit more of a rebellious personality, right? However, you're getting bombarded with this. Look at these studies and look at this study, and then now we're finding this. And at one point, I was like, I don't know what's accurate.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna feel this out, which is probably not the best idea, right? But that's what happened. So, and again, just using that as an example, it was one of those things where you're seeing, you got to wear a mask and you got to do this and you got to do this, and you get people like, I ain't wearing no mask and I ain't taking no vaccine and I ain't doing this and I'm going to run around, I'm
gonna do whatever I feel like.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, now, did I learn some things? Yeah. I think we should probably all be a little bit more responsible with our own health, starting with, walking around a little bit more and being outside a little bit more.
Yeah.
But there was a time there where there was a lot of crazy information going around, and it was very difficult to figure out what was what.
Yeah.
Right. So, and again, the news and social media did not help at all. So this is in the distractions portion. Again, going along with everything we've been talking about, don't be too partisan.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I think when I say partisan, it would make better sense to things that aren't directly opposed to your morality. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Although, when I say don't be too partisan, because someone doesn't share something you believe to be morally correct or true, that doesn't mean you just get to jump on them and pounce on them and become right. So, what do you think about that? Don't look ahead.
I'm not. I was just
Thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say don't be too partisan, if you've got two people arguing about something and you stand firmly on one side of that argument, I think you don't call the other person.
Yeah. You don't need to. There's no reason to be super rude. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's going to be disagreements between people. That's just how it is. And
let's give an example.
Yeah.
Let's say we have a young Earth, old Earth argument.
Yeah.
And I say argument, and when I say argument, they're not screaming at each other, not discussing anything like that. I fall on the younger Earth side.
Me too.
But I see validity in arguments from people who are old earth people, even though I don't necessarily share.
Yeah.
I'm it would be bad for you and I to jump on Instagram or Facebook and tell someone they're an idiot for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For not.
How stupid can you be?
Right. Science, schmience, you know what I mean? Those kind of things. I think that there's a way to do that where you can have a civil discussion about certain topics. And that's one that's probably less about morality. It can definitely get into that, right? But that's a general disagreement between someone. Yeah, you're going to have that general disagreement between Christians, right?
Yeah.
I have some Christian friends who are older earth Christian friends, and they're, I don't necessarily share that belief, but I do definitely side on the young earth.
Yeah.
Right. Here's a tough one, and this one hit me right in the feels, as you young people say. Do you guys say that still?
I don't think I've ever said that, but I know people do say that, yeah.
Yeah, what would you say?
I don't know.
Don't use crude memes.
Don't use crude memes.
Don't create them. They're huge in our...
That's fun, though.
They're freaking funny, man.
So
funny.
They
are so funny. And they're like... I get it. I understand. I understand. I have to think about this in a term that's not social media related. At our barbershop, you have 4 alpha males and Michael, who I haven't quite figured out if he's alpha or beta. Probably, I don't know. I can't quite figure him out yet. He has alpha moments, but he's also very passive. But he's a younger guy. He's 25, right? We are rough on each other, and for customers that we've had for a long time, it's like a football team, dude. You pick on each other, you give each other a hard time, you make each other mad, But it's very similar to a meme that I think is hilarious. So if I am picking on one of the other guys in the shop, and I'm being, my typical self, for a third party to come in and see that, they might not understand how we kind of joke around with each other. So there's a danger in misunderstanding intent. And I think that's don't make these memes. Same kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But man, there are some hilarious ones. They are super funny. I'll pass them in my feed and crack up laughing. You know what I mean? And it's and I shouldn't. I think don't repost something that's going to intentionally hurt somebody's feelings. The one that I saw recently was, that submarine. We'll go back to that. And the guy had the joystick.
Yeah, it survived. Yeah. I don't know how. That's wild. But
it was like, it survived this, but it crashed my boat was the meme. Right. Yeah. Insensitive. But at the time, I mean, people are clever. Right. Yeah. And so, you just got to be careful about that stuff. Image. Here's one.
Big one.
And this is the one that these next couple kind of go together. Right. Yeah. And this is one of the things that I think is worth a little bit of discussion.
Image.
Right. Yeah. Don't self-elevate.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, part of original sin was what? Do you want to be like a God?
Do you want to be like God?
Right.
Yeah.
You want to self-elevate yourself to that. Jeremiah 9:23 and 24 says, thus say the Lord, let not wise men boast in his wisdom, let the mighty man boast in his might. Let not the rich man boast in his riches, but let him who boasts boast in this, that he understands and knows me. So, if you have a business, service, otherwise, tattoo shop, a barber shop, on social media, and I don't post much about our shop on social media. We have a shop page. I mean, I probably should, just because, but there's a fine line between self-elevating and promoting a business on social media.
Yeah.
Tina's an extremely talented artist. She runs a very successful tattoo shop. Roxy is this. I'm very talented, right?
Yeah.
They post their work and promote the business, but I guess it could kind of be looked at the same way, right?
Yeah.
But so I think when I think self-elevating, you get these fitness people, lots of fitness people on like Instagram, right? Well, what do? They get in skimpy little outfits and they look really great, whatever. But they have something that they are using as their livelihood.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fine line right between that stuff. I mean, if you're dipping back over to I'm going to put these bikini pictures in to get you to subscribe to my OnlyFans, you've gone too far, right? But if you're a nutrition coach or a fitness coach and you're putting up videos of you working out, right, probably to promote your business, you can probably do it not in a bikini, or a little bitty pair of workout shorts if you're a dude or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you want people to see the results that you've gotten so that they trust you to, those kind of things. So, what do you see in your kind of universe as a young man with probably different followers and different people than I have? See the same kind of thing?
Well, yeah, I would say like for sure, because I mean, like the fitness one especially is a big one. You know what I mean? Like even people who don't have anything to promote will like still post up like that because they want to show people the results. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I don't know. I lost my train of thought there.
That's okay.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Andy Frisella has a program. It's called 75 Hard. I mean, tons of people know it. I don't know if they know that he's kind of the originator. He gives it out for free. No drinking for 75 days, a gallon of water a day for 75 days, 10 pages of reading a day. It's just basically a 75-day program to create healthy habits.
Yeah.
Right. But one of the requirements is once a week, you post a new pic.
Yeah.
Right. And that's to keep you accountable. And you post a new pic on social media.
Yeah.
And you tag 75 Hard or whatever. I think there's a fine line. I think that you should let, God be your guide on that for sure. If you're getting up there and you got some stuff that questionable, then you're promoting a different thing.
Yeah, and I think it's not necessarily bad to do that. You know what I mean? Obviously it's okay to show your progress, but I think there's certain ways that some people do it. Like
sure.
certain things they'll wear while doing it, or certain angles, you know what I mean? And that's the things where it gets questionable.
We work out at home
Yeah.
now because it's just easier. We wake up, we go work out right at the house. But when we didn't, there was some people at the gym. I won't say which one, but it's a pretty popular gym real close to here. They would have 2 cameras set up while they're doing squats and 2 cameras set up. It's like, that's quite a production. I don't to be honest with you, dude, we used to work out 6 in the morning. We still do. But I mean, we'd be at the gym at 6 in the morning. I'm like, dude, it's a lot of, I'm going to get up at 4 in the morning to get all that stuff together, and everything else. But so there's that stuff. Here's one that I thought was interesting. Don't humble brag. So the Bible tells us not to brag and be, but so what do? We humble brag.
Yeah.
Right. Man, I'm so sore from working out for 2 hours before everyone. I was so out of shape. Right. I'm so sore for working out 2 hours before you get up for breakfast. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Jocko Willink, who I really, really like, at 4 in the morning, he takes a picture of his watch when he wakes up. Right. Now, for what he sells, he does nutritional supplements and whatnot. Okay, you know what I mean? But it's God, every day you woke up and we get it. You get up at 4 a.m. every day, man. We get it. But he's and I said I really like his content. I don't know the guy. He's ex-Navy SEAL, but I like his podcast. I like his programs, and but it's here, boom, picture of the watch, 4 a.m. It's
this again.
So here's another one. I was so encouraged eating dinner with Chris Tomlin last night. It's so great that he remembers, the little people like me.
The little people like me.
And I call these weird flexes.
Yeah,
right?
That's a weird flex.
Yeah, or an odd flex. It's an odd flex.
That's an odd flex.
Yeah. I'm so humbled that my latest YouTube video went viral.
Yeah. Man, I'm so humble.
Humble. Look at me, I'm amazing and humble.
Yeah.
That's what. But Just don't do that. Yeah. Also, don't spiritual brag. I thought that was kind of interesting. It says, Matthew 6:5 says, when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrite, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues at the street corners, and they may seem, so they're seen by others.
Yes.
Truly, I say to you, you have received your reward.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got something to say about this.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say we kind of talked about this last week a little bit.
Yeah.
When Mikey was talking about his Instagram account where he was only posting
right
because he wanted other people to see that he was smart and knowledgeable about this, right?
Right.
This falls in like that same category,
sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really interesting. He talked a lot about it. Like there's probably about 3 minutes about it last week, so if you want to go watch the whole thing over again, please do.
Yeah,
we'll take the view.
Well, no, he made a good point. He's like, are you posting because you want people to see it, or are you posting because you think God thinks it's important for someone?
Yeah,
right?
And I think that's a smart thing to think about. I
think, and this is, I grew up at Bellevue Baptist Church. I'm not going to say any names, but there was one person at the end. It was an old school Baptist church. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, it doesn't seem like, but it was one of those ones where at the end of the service, the pastor would call on one of the men to pray.
Yeah.
And my buddy Bob and I, any time that they would call this one particular person, we would just go, because it was like a 7-minute.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that guy's heart. Maybe he thought it was important to pray about everything that he wanted to pray about. Mm-hmm. But as a kid, I remember hearing it and just going, "Jeez, Pete, dude, you just love hearing yourself pray." Again, might not have been true.
Yeah.
But I think if someone maybe thinks that, who knows, right? So don't do that. I think it also goes with don't be super sanctimonious with people. And what that means is I know more than you because I've studied more than you. And and here's why it's right. And here's, you've heard me say a bunch of times that if you're arguing from a standpoint that your theology is perfect, then you're very wrong, scary to me, right? Because mine's probably not perfect, and I'm pretty sure there's plenty of things.
Mine's definitely not perfect.
Yeah,
so
so here's a big one. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Don't brag about your social media fast.
Yes.
Dude, listen. Right, so
the amount of
guys,
this one bothers me so much.
Guys, I'm fed up. I'm taking a break. I'm disconnecting from all social media. Good, dude, just do it.
Just do it. Don't tell us.
The funny part is, listen.
If you need me,
hold on.
Text me.
Yeah, here's another one though. Even worse than that initial post is when I see the person back on 2 days answering something else.
Yes.
Right. I love social media for certain reasons.
Yeah.
I can keep up with my buddies out west. I can keep up with some of my friends I don't talk to a lot of times. You can have an interaction back. There's generally a picture that accompanies it or something.
Yeah.
So I like Instagram for that particular reason. Facebook, I can remember birthdays, dude.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's extremely important for that, for me. But you're taking a break, dude. Good job. Great.
Like, I wasn't on social media like at all the entirety of last week because we were at camp, right? I didn't have the chance, and like, it's not like I'm out here.
You did just now. Now you just did it. True.
I just did it.
Might as well post it.
Dang it, dude! I took a break from social media last week. It was the greatest.
Man, I feel so refreshed. I took a break from social media because I was at camp just doing Jesus work. Yeah. That's a weird, odd flex.
It's an odd flex. I mean, you can make it a decent message out of it. You know what I mean? But it's still an odd.
Well, now it's not even though you might be completely sincere with the fact that I took a break from social media because I was at a specific city working, doing mission work. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you may mean it. But now you've got somebody going, here we go. Right here, look at Riley just falling in line.
Once again.
So,
instead of dude, posts like that.
I will catch myself like when somebody does it. I'm fed up. I'm tired of the politics. I'm flip. Like
that's my dude. Flip. Snapchat is the worst at that because everybody will like.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah. Like I feel like everybody, I'm even guilty of it. I'm not even going to say I'm not, but everybody at some point has probably posted, either in middle school or in high school, deleting Snapchat just on their story. Just
Really?
Oh yeah, something like that, or not even just on their story, but like sent to like their friends and be like, if you need me, text me. I won't be on here, like type of thing. Like,
it's not just Christians, right?
yeah,
I mean,
it's everyone. I mean,
everyone.
the time I did it is because I deleted Snapchat for like 6 months.
However,
which
you did it
made sense because I stuck to it. But
well, that's the thing, right?
It's
like,
the people who come back within 2 days.
The thing about it is this: do not confuse Riley and my frustration with this particular post with the idea that if you want to get off social media, good.
Yeah.
It's probably better, right? And ultimately, the ultimate story of this is when they talk about these different things and they talk about, dude, guard your free time.
Yeah.
And if your free time is, if you're on social media and you're seeing these posts come by with these tuck-friendly swimsuits and these half-dressed fitness models, you could probably be spending your free time in a better way.
I know exactly what they could do with their free time for the month of July.
What's
they're going to hear that? I don't know if you heard about this, ladies and gentlemen, but we are I am running a Bible shred, which is reading the entire Bible in 30 days throughout the month of July. So if you have free time in July, text me right after this episode comes out and you watch it, because I will get you the schedule and you can join us.
It's aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is aggressive.
I mean, we've got, right now, I think it's at 26 people.
That's awesome.
Joining us. So if you want to join in with those 26 people, please do.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that.
Good use of your free time.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Don't act like you have it all together.
Yeah,
this also goes in with self-promotion, dude. Mm-hmm. And nobody believes you.
Yeah,
no one believes you. Your kids aren't perfect. Your marriage isn't perfect. Your life is not perfect. You got problems. Everyone does.
Yeah. And
so don't act like you have it all together, because especially if you're a Christian, it's a terrible example. It's a terrible example because it's not easy, and it's not going to be. And the Bible tells you multiple times it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be prosperous all the time. You're prosperous when you get to heaven.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's also important to make the distinction that it's like not always, you don't always need to post when it's bad too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're not saying that don't make your social media presence perfect, but there's no reason to not be somewhat vulnerable when you do post, you know what I mean? So there's a line, and you should draw it yourself. Well, I mean, we're not going to tell you where to draw it, but
I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't post workout videos.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm going to tell you why. My friends are turds, dude.
Yeah.
They will immediately. If I post something like me and Tina working out, dude, doing a hard workout, like really getting after it, they'll be like, oh, great content, man, blah, blah, blah. It's like, can I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't even want to deal with the headache.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with the headache, you know. So it's just such a pain sometimes, but yeah, you don't have it all together. Everybody knows it, dude. No one's life is perfect. And the problem is, I think there are people that look at that and go, they got it all together.
Yeah.
Why can't I be like that? Right. And that's just, it's not true.
Lead them astray from the start.
Yeah.
You know,
not true. I'm going to screw something up today. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like
I'm going to screw something up today.
Like,
you know, at some point today, I'm going to have to do something wrong so there's my advertisement. So anyway, discernment.
Yeah.
Have discernment, and by doing that, don't blindly trust every Christian source.
Yeah.
Right. Newsflash: Christians are wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
We make mistakes. We apply things incorrectly from time to time. Mm-hmm. Every Christian source does not share your exact biblical worldview. How else can we put that?
We don't all interpret what it says the exact same way. We don't have the same theology behind what we're putting out, right?
Yeah. So for you conservative people who watch this show, this podcast, or listen, there are liberal Christians.
Yeah.
I don't know how else.
Yeah.
And for you liberal Christians who watch this show, there are conservative Christians, and I don't necessarily mean politically.
Yeah, I mean
in tons of different things, right? We have Christian churches in our community that will fly a pride flag.
Yeah, like
right now, I don't agree with their stance. I don't agree with the celebration of those things. Are those people welcome at that church? Absolutely. Are they welcome at our church?
Yeah.
100%. I don't understand or agree with the celebration of that particular thing. Now, they do. So, about that particular thing, it's not necessarily a source that I would trust blindly without doing some research, right? You know, there's no way really to get around without stepping on people's toes, but I'll just talk about me for an example. If I'm going to take a hard stance on abortion, I had someone who was not a Christian ask me, do you believe in the death penalty? Years ago, I would have said, well, sure. You know, if that person committed a crime. And then now that we have DNA evidence, and I have found out how many people are on death row that probably shouldn't be, I find it very, very hypocritical of me to take a hard stance against abortion just for birth control and irresponsibility and the death penalty.
Yeah.
If I don't support abortion, then I probably shouldn't abort, because there are lots of people losing their lives, according to some of this evidence, that do not deserve it.
Yeah.
So now I've got to be consistent. So that is just an example of 20 years ago, if you'd asked me, it would have been, this guy's, well, you know, he doesn't want anybody to get an abortion, but he's just putting in a speed lane for the death.
And I mean, like, same for me, probably like 5, 6, 7 years ago. You know what I mean? So,
you know, so I mean, human life is sacred, and if I believe that one way,
then I should believe it the other way.
Right?
You know,
and again, this is my personal view and the things that I have kind of battled with and struggled with about those two particular subjects. So there you go. There's an example of why about the death penalty you probably shouldn't have listened to me a few years ago.
Yeah.
Don't blindly share Christian quotes.
Yeah.
We have talked about some people who are prominent on social media when Mikey was here.
Yep.
That sometimes get things incorrect.
Yeah.
So if you pluck one of their, and for me it's the ones we talked about. If I see someone and they'll put a quote of his up, and I'm like, immediately I'm like, let's
just because you know, like,
well, because I have a certain belief of things that I've seen from and read from them. You know, don't give in to Christian peer pressure. This was an interesting one. And it says, so many posts or images say something like, if you love Jesus, like and share, but don't do anything if you don't.
Yeah, those ones are...
Well, guess what, buddy? I'm not liking and sharing, but I still love Jesus.
Yeah, like,
you know,
those. I have a problem with posts like that. Like,
if
you're begging for likes in that way, that I don't know. I kind of have a problem with that.
It's kind of... It's kind of like the note you gave the girl in grade school. It's like, do you like me? Yes or no?
Yes or no.
Right. Well, you know, you ever get a girl that circled or? Like, that was maybe.
That was funny.
Like, that was maybe. Looking back, what you meant, just probably yes, but I don't want to tell you in this stupid note you sent me. But it's the same kind of thing, right? And you know, I'm not making fun of people that do it. If you put people on there and you're proud, I'm good. That's awesome. That's awesome. Don't give me an ultimatum. If you don't if you don't post this, you obviously don't love Jesus.
Yeah, come on now.
Right, so
if you don't like this video and share it right now.
Here's a self-explanatory one under nastiness. Don't be mean.
Yeah.
Don't be mean. There's a difference between jokingly razzing your buddy.
Yeah.
And just being mean, dude.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't share your opinion and you're just mean about it, then you are terrible. And guess what? I'm probably guilty of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got some hot button things, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure guilty of that in the past. No doubt in my mind. But
yeah.
Just don't be
Even
mean.
if it's about something that you just don't get involved.
Yeah, like
you're not going to change that person's mind. We talked about blowing the post up.
yeah,
right?
and we talked about making it personal more like between one person and another
and
rather
I think
than
half
blowing
the
a post.
time, people don't even like they're not even mad about your opinion or the way you state it. Well, they might be if you're like a total jerk about it, but. Like most of the time, there's like you just blew up this post for no reason.
It's
dude,
ridiculous.
So,
and I don't know if it's on here, or on this, but the one that I have goes along with that. Don't be impulsive about what you post. Like it says much of what gets us into trouble is what we post out of a moment of frustration, right? And I mean, like if we're being mean to someone, we're going to be impulsive about what we say back, you know?
Generally.
Or if somebody's being mean to us.
I'm going to be honest with you, dude, because I feel like we are honest and open on this program. Generally when I'm mean, I've already thought it through. I want to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing that I've decided to just go ahead and do it anyway. I mean, but if we're being real, I've probably thought it through, but some people don't. Some people throw it out there and it's too late, dude. It's out on the interwebs forever. You know, you can go and delete it, but somebody saw it.
Somebody already saw it for sure.
Or if you're clever like you young people do, they saw it and then they screenshotted it.
So it's, you have no way of denying it.
Never get away from it.
The verse they put with that was James 1, verse 19 through 21. Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce righteousness of God. Therefore put away all filthiness and rampant wickedness and receive the meekness, the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. I almost got through that one.
You did good. You're getting better. Every week you're improving. Don't attack people. That's same thing, dude.
Obvious one.
Think it through. If you've got something to say to somebody and you think it's important, DM them.
Yeah.
Text them.
That's
do
what
something.
I always do.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if it's like someone you actually know.
That's
you know
my
what I mean?
move. That's generally my move, dude. If I see something that I just like, especially from somebody that I know, and I see something that's just like, wow, this is outrageous. I can't believe it. I'll DM.
Yeah, and like we were talking about last week, like the circle me and Mikey are kind of in. Like we're not on the outside because we don't post all the time. You know what I mean? But like there's a bunch of people we're friends with or friends of friends. Like we know each other. But like there are all these social media people who always post about Jesus all the time. You know, like that's their job essentially. And like there's some times where they'll post something, I'm like, that's not what the Bible says, and like you need to text them and reach out to them. And then a lot of the time,
or hey, even better than that. Hey, maybe the interpretation of this is not.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
let's look at this
together. Yeah, that's the one I do. Right. I'm not gonna say his name, but like there's one friend who. There's been a couple times where it's been something like that. I'm like, hey, can we read it together to tell you what I think it says, and we'll discuss this because I don't
think about it, dude. It says eye for an eye right here. Well, okay, but Jesus also said, I say, don't do that. So and the last but not least, and this is one probably sometimes I think Tina and my kids would accuse me of is don't be too proud to apologize.
Yeah.
Although I will say this, if I apologize to you, I certainly mean it.
Yeah.
Right. I don't like apologies where people are not sincere.
Yeah.
Like, I have an opinion about something, and I would be much rather. So let's say that you have an opinion about something, right? And you apologize. Well, I'm sorry. Well, you're not sorry that you don't share my opinion. You're sorry that your side of the opinion upset me, right? So I think that there is a difference. It's like when your kids get caught doing something, you'll find this out. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, are you sorry you did it, or are you sorry you got caught doing it? Yeah, they're getting in trouble. So I think but be sincere and think through your apology. And I will tell people specifically, I am sorry that I hurt your feelings.
Yeah. Like if that
doesn't mean that I don't still have the opinion that I have. Yeah. Right. And I don't think that takes away. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
I think that's the best way to frame that sort of apologies. You need to say it. Yeah. You can't just say I'm sorry because then it's not sincere,
And I think, I struggle with the fact that I'm a pretty brash personality, right? And I think people will assume brashness, even when I'm not trying to be.
Yeah,
and it's something I have to deal with, and it kind of frustrates me because I'm like, I'm so sincere. You know what I mean? I'm very sincere when I say this, but it's something that I have to deal with. But I want to be clear. This is what I'm apologizing for. I still share this. I still have this view, but I'm sorry that the way I shared it with you hurt your feelings, because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah, that was not my intent.
Right. My intention was not that. This is just, whatever. And maybe, sometimes I should have just not, I apologize for speaking up at all, because I should have just kept my stupid opinion to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's important too. So anything else to add? I think those are pretty good rules. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory stuff, and a good way to end up, this kind of discussion. There's so many things, and it's so funny that while we're doing this, so many things were popping in.
Yeah.
You got RFK working out with his shirt off, dude, at 68 years old. Just stuff that you could just make meme after meme about.
Yeah.
And I happen to like that guy. I feel like when he talks, he doesn't sound like a politician to me, and I kind of like that. Plus, he's under 70. I also like that.
Yeah.
I was joking around yesterday. Somebody asked me, in the presidential election, who do you like? I was like, somebody under 60. Somebody still of working age.
Yeah.
I don't know. So.
Oh.
Somebody that is somebody that's not in danger.
We're gonna get in trouble.
Are we gonna get in trouble?
I don't know.
Probably. Someone's not in danger of getting too old to do anything.
Yeah, I think that's important. For doesn't matter what branch of government or anything. I think that's important. Or anything any branch of leadership is the better word.
I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. I know irresponsible 47 years olds.
Exactly.
However,
but
I'd still like someone to be like working age. Somebody that's not retirement age. That's just me.
And I mean,
feel free to have your own opinions.
I think that there's nothing wrong. The leadership role itself is where I think it is for that. But I think the influence of them is good, because they've lived through it.
You got to get me in the weeds, dude. Because I think if anybody says I want to be president, they should immediately take that person for a psychological eval.
Yeah, I agree.
So why do you want to do that? Let's get to the bottom of this before we get too far down this rabbit hole.
Anyways.
Well,
big idea from this entire series. Think before you post. Think before you reply.
Yeah.
Think before you do anything on social media.
Well, think about it's really easy if you think about, when Jesus said, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Think about what you would, if somebody was going to, dude, people hold religious and moral kind of things very close to them.
Yeah.
So if you don't like people attacking you, if I came out and I said, they should just ban all abortion, blah, 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 all the time, right? If I put that on myself, I would have to expect that someone's going to attack that stance.
Obviously.
Right? You would think. There's a way to do it, You understand what I mean? I know that something like that is going to be controversial, right? And people do post that to get some discussion started. Yeah. But there's a way to have a civil disagreement without screaming at each other and not talking to each other and not whatever. It's very strange. Very strange. I don't know anybody who thinks exactly like me, and I'm probably happy about that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm very glad that no one does. The problem, most of you listening, you're probably glad too. But let me finish this and then I'll pray us out.
All right. If you have any topic ideas from here, drop them in the comments, text us, call us, whatever. We're
going to do some, I think we should call it unwinnable arguments. You can get into some of the the young earth, old earth stuff, which is difficult to win. Yeah. It's just stuff like that. Just things when you talk about all the things that we discuss, and it comes up, it seems like pretty regularly now. Probably some things alone, but ultimately, I think there's some interesting topics there. All sorts of things. Things pop up all the time that we can talk about. So we promise we'll be back with something. You may like it. You may not. So
you may drop off all our new viewers, but that's okay.
Yeah. All our sponsors just hit the road.
We'll still be here.
Lord, we just thank you for this time. Lord, we just thank you for just these kind of common sense ideas about dealing with each other and dealing with people, even if it's through social media where there's not a face-to-face interaction. Lord, just help us to just do the best that we can and just be the best examples for you. Lord, we just thank you for our church and the ability that we Riley and I get to just come and talk about these things and just discuss it from two different point of views. And again, we just thank you for your son, Jesus. In his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.